Welcome back to Chiefs fans before we were cool, home of the uncool crew.
Welcome.
Thank you. Well,
I hope
you're probably
that's I
welcome to
hope
me.
that's not like news to anyone watching these videos that they're part of the uncool crew.
Mom, am I uncool?
Mom would never lie to you.
Oh man.
Just a little bit of a bias of authority, when
Yeah.
just a little bit, a
Well,
little bit. My family would always we always joke like my mom is very sweet and will laugh at a lot of jokes that other people will not laugh at. Which I don't think is a problem. I think she's the one that understands life and she enjoys life way better than most people. But the unfortunate reality that all three of us kids have decided is that we have grown up with an inflated view of our humor. And so, like you got to love mom, but you also have to remember that it is mom
yeah.
laughing at your
Like
jokes.
if you say, "Mom, am I uncool?" and your mom responds by saying, "Well, I mean, who
You do
decides who's
watch those
cool?"
videos.
Yeah, like, huh?
Maybe we could be in awakening like a newsflash. And so in some
Yeah.
ways we could look at it like, oh man, it's like you ruined the secret, like Santa or whatever. But on the other side, you could look at it as we are helping you. This is
Yeah.
a good thing because you don't want to grow up thinking you're funnier than you are.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah. Um, and being cool is so overrated anyway.
Right. I mean, you might find yourself later in life making podcasts.
True.
That would be the worst.
That would be, oof, I didn't ever want to be that guy.
who, who does? Really? Who does? Okay, enough self-deprecating humor. Again, I told you I think I'm funnier than I am, but what a game! What a game for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
First game, I will say, just gut reaction. I wasn't nervous. I was so not nervous, and my brother and his wife can attest to this. I fell asleep during
That's
parts.
that's pretty not nervous.
That's pretty not nervous. Yeah, just for about five,
Unless
five,
like
10 minutes in the third quarter, I was like, we're up by two scores. They're not going to win. I mean, the Derek Carr thing was unfortunate, but also like, oh, okay, no,
yeah.
we're not even facing Derek Carr. And yeah, our run defense is no joke.
Yeah.
Sorry, Alvin Kamara. Sorry, whomever, Derrick Henry. Sorry, we're not
I
scared of them. We're
saw
not scared of
today,
these high power.
yeah. I saw today the stat that Kareem Hunt had more rushing attempts than Kamara had rushing yards, which is crazy.
Yeah, he had a lot. That's another
Yeah.
point. Maybe you can jump into that. The Kareem Hunt show, man.
Yeah. It was an interesting thing that like the Chiefs were like, who needs wide receivers anyway? Let's just get three tight ends on a lot of the sets. And it was also probably not a coincidence. The first week in a long time, it felt like we could power rush, on a third
Hmm.
and one, and we'd be like, okay, let's pick up 3 yards, things like that. Um,
Yeah.
and it just seemed like, man, the running game was on point. Kareem Hunt wanted to prove, like, and actually, they kept saying this. It was like the Chiefs season right now is like the reunion season. So we got Juju
Oh yeah.
again. We've
Hmm.
got Kareem Hunt again. We've got
Hmm.
what's that other tight end? I'm blanking on his name all of a sudden.
Noah Gray.
No, the other one they just signed off of. They just signed this week.
Oh,
Um, everyone
Blake
listening to
Bell, the
Brian.
Belldozer.
No.
I'm sorry. I missed that completely.
Yeah, let
Sorry,
me
I'm
find it
bad,
real quick.
bad, bad Chiefs podcaster. I missed that entirely.
And
The
I'm just
the new
blanking on
tight
the
end thing.
name. Um, so
But he was a part of our old run too.
yeah, he'd been on the team before.
Where's Blake Bell?
Sorry, my
Hmm.
phone's being bad.
Okay.
It's like being
Well,
slow.
yep, we have that guy. And yeah, it's I think it was a good adjustment. look, I don't want no offense to Sky Moore. I don't want him on the field playing a lot of
Yeah.
snaps. Justin Watson is serviceable, but ideally you're playing,
Oh, it's
Xavier Worthy,
Jody Fortson. He's
Jody
just
Fulton. Oh, I didn't
yeah.
know that. I totally missed that we
They
had
signed him
re-signed.
this week. So
Yeah. Oh, okay. That getting the gang back together. And look, and like let's say early returns, Kareem Hunt has been fun. Like again, it's mostly offensive line. I like Kareem Hunt. I think he fits the system pretty well.
yeah.
He's running fine, but it's mostly the system and the
Yeah.
fact that they trust him more than they trust any of our other tight ends, right? All due respect to Carson Steele, but he's a plodding, slow guy, and he breaks.
Yep.
He'll try to plow people, but he's not a Tank Bigsby,
Yeah.
and so he's not breaking tackles like that, and you just can't. You're just not going to survive. He's a great fullback. He's just not the running back you want long term.
I
And
think he's a really good change of pace back, but he's
yeah,
not going to be
sure.
your main guy, you know?
No,
And
he shouldn't
so
be your main guy, and neither should Samaje P. Ryan. He's played that role for a couple games in the past at times, but he's also kind of slow, kind of,
can you
So Kareem
imagine
Hunt is
though,
great. Yeah.
if, Pacheco comes back and
Hmm.
we're still running like heavy tight end sets? Could you imagine the kind of plays Andy Reid could come up with where you've got like two tight ends and then two running backs in the backfield, on each side of Mahomes? It's
Yeah.
like sometimes you run, sometimes you
Do some.
don't.
Let's do some double reverse sweep.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's probably the best plays, but yeah. But yeah, I really want to talk about Juju, man.
Hmm.
Juju is one that impressed me. Like Kareem Hunt, all due respect, it's cool that he turned back the clock, but and he ran fine. Like he's a serviceable running back. But I think it's more proof that it's more about your offensive line than anything. The running backs, like you just have very few, like Saquon. JT has been at times, but he just gets he's been banged up a
Hmm.
lot. Like they're Derrick Henry to a degree, but even Derrick Henry last year couldn't overcome his offensive line issues. So it really is. There's a level to which the offensive line matters, and our offensive line down the middle is strong.
Hmm.
We've been playing pretty well, fine on the edges. So, but Juju, man, he turned back the clock. You kidding me? Like he got cut. He got cut. He went, he played himself into a good contract, or at least a pretty decent contract a couple years ago over in New England. Gets cut because they're like, he's not any good. His knees are broken. He can't use it. And then comes the Chiefs and gets 130 yards.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
like what?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
The first few series of the game, you didn't think is looking like it was just going to be tight ends.
Yeah.
Although I think the commentators got something wrong at one point. They said something like, "Oh, that's the first pass to a receiver," but I think technically we had a jet sweep with Hardman, and I think it was technically a pass. It's one of those ones where he just like bumps it forward, which I
It
think,
doesn't matter.
yeah. But I'm just saying
Yeah.
technicality. I think that's
We
good.
got Hardman in a couple like kind of gimmicky stuff. Xavier
He's just there.
Worthy
He's just
and
there to catch the Super Bowl winning pass anyway. That's the only reason
yeah,
he's on the
that's
team.
all we have
You
him.
know.
Okay. No, but I really like their adjustments. I think the Chiefs are better about that. I've talked about this before. I think the way that we played Tampa Bay in that Super Bowl, I know it's kind of funny having won two since then. You talking about that. But I just thought it was arrogant. I thought we didn't adjust to the personnel we had. We had no offensive line, and still we thought, hey, we can just do what we've been doing all year. And we did not respect that offensive line that was wrecking quarterback after quarterback in the playoffs.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, no. Now we're adjusting, and it was quick. It was a good adjustment. I like that we were a little bit more aggressive. We kind of there's a 4th and 1 that we went for when we haven't
Yep.
been going for those at all. Maybe that's just more confidence in the run game or game script. There's just a variety of things maybe for that. But other than giving up that pretty long touchdown to Rashid Shaheed,
Yeah.
who has been doing that to everybody, torching everybody.
Mhm.
Um, man, that was excellent game. Like I said, I was, I was feeling good that game. I had no
Yeah.
doubt that we were going to pull through.
Yep. And that one interception, that was really fluky. Like Mahomes has had a couple of bad interceptions this
Nah,
season, but that one was not on Mahomes at all. That was, you know, it's one of those things where you think like a tipped ball should be scored differently than as an interception, you know?
yeah, a fumble or a
Yeah.
yeah something there. Well, I mean, the hard thing is like what level of tip, right? It
Yeah.
counts as the
For
tip, and then you run
instance,
into all sorts of
if
stuff.
for instance in the opening game of the season you hit the wide receiver in his hands and he doesn't catch
Slips
it and it
out.
ends up being a pick six instead, you know.
Hmm. That's all right. Juju, I'm glad that they trusted Juju after that. He played his role that he played a few years ago really well. I mean, he's
Yeah.
still young. He's 27. Now, his knees are very, very, very old. So, is that going to last all season? I don't know, but we kind of just need to get through the season, right? And then maybe we get Marquise Brown back and he plays
Yeah.
something. It looks pretty clear we've lost Rasheed Rice for the season. 4 months doesn't leave room for coming back, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
And it feels rough for him too because there's a good chance he misses a lot of games next season too. So you think like,
yeah,
you know, I mean, obviously
it's
that's
the
consequence
suspension.
of actions, that second thing,
Yeah,
but
yeah, but just a promising young player who's just became a key cog of our offense. We saw Travis Kelce get more involved, like we suspected would happen.
mhm.
The offense looked really, really good. I have Patrick Mahomes in fantasy, and I'm starting to feel a little bit more confident playing him. I might start playing him over, just whatever. Full disclosure, I was playing Justin Fields over in the last week. This week we're on a bye,
Yeah.
but going forward, I'm feeling a lot more confident with the way the offense is. I think after the bye, they'll get even more figured out. But I really like the adjustments we made on offense and our defense. I really think having just a strong run defense is a much bigger deal than people think.
Yeah.
Like the thought is like you have the best corners, you play these things, but if they can churn the ball and push their way through to a good match, like it's a tricky thing there for sure.
Yeah. Though what's weird about this week is with all the narratives of the refs helping the Chiefs, I didn't see anybody online talking about the no call on Xavier Worthy in the end zone. Uh, that was a little odd, is that it didn't really fit the narrative of, oh, the refs always bailed the Chiefs, and there's a pretty obvious PI against him, and it was not
Yeah,
called. But I said I wasn't going to
yeah,
talk about that this year. So I'll just say is the refs are not biased towards the Chiefs. Uh, the Chiefs just make you pay for mistakes that are called or are not called more than other teams. So
yeah. That's how it is for every good team. You'll have calls that go forward against them, and the question is, do you get the drive after that call? Or do you?
mhm.
Oh. And like the reality is, luck with these kinds of things, it actually goes both ways, and it's just kind of a spectrum. And as we talked about before, it's mostly perceivers bias when people are kind of going after that.
Yeah.
Mostly, it's just like you notice when the calls go against your team. It was fun. We were doing a watch party of the Pittsburgh Cowboys game, and we just laughed at it because like we were like, oh, that was and we're all adults there, and they're pretty logical people, so they're like recognizing like, yeah, I think it's a bad call. It's like, why do you think that? Oh, because it was against my team.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't have any problem with that if it was the other team. Just like you should spend more time laughing at yourself. I think. Like I think that is an important role in life is to spend more time there.
Hmm. Yep. Hmm. Well, the nice thing is, I predict the Chiefs will still be undefeated at the end of this week.
Oh, did I say the trap game was here? Did you go check the tape there?
Oh no, no,
I
no.
think I might have.
No, it's because it's a bye week.
Oh, bye week through the bye week. Yeah, I'm pretty happy that we're still undefeated.
Yep. I
And I
obviously
think
wish the
there's a
bye week was later in the season, but um
yeah. But honestly, with the injuries to wide receivers and stuff, I don't mind it.
Yeah.
I think there's still some good adjustments we can do at this point.
Hmm.
And not the most important. It's not like we have people that are un that aren't healthy that will get healthy really, banged up or anything. So,
Yeah.
but that's okay. We got a bye week. So maybe
Bye
we'll
week.
bye week. Yeah, I think a cool thing we'll try to do is kind of highlight maybe some of the Chiefs' main competitors in the AFC, see how they do this week, and maybe just have a short bit about those. Um, so that, and talk about any news for the Chiefs if we signed anybody as significant as Jody Fortson.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, he's been the training camp darling for a while and hasn't done a whole lot, but he'll come back in maybe.
Yeah.
Um,
Honestly, I think the biggest thing is he's familiar with Andy Reid's kind of system. It's
Dude, yeah,
like he signed and he had an impact in the game, not huge, but still had a couple catches. I think
dude.
had at
I
least
would
one.
rather, yeah, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I just rather have him than like the Bengals old tight end that we had for a while. He got cut before the season, but like
Yeah.
I would rather have the people that know the offense, especially with some injuries to players. Dude, we just want people that know the thing, that can do the thing. And if they do the thing, the offense hums, like
Hmm.
really well. Patrick Mahomes was humming. The offense was moving the ball.
Yep.
Kareem Hunt was churning.
The red zone percentage wasn't great for touchdowns, but in every
Well,
other
we had
part of
the
the game,
interception.
yeah, we had the interception. That's true. And it's like really the game did not feel like
Mm.
the Chiefs were winning in every side of the ball, basically. Um,
Yeah, it was. I didn't even mind the interception too much. Colin Sanders, go run, big dude, go run, big dude. He just kept running. He just grabs it and runs, even though he's not trained to just go down in
yeah,
that situation. He was like, I'm just gonna take it to the house, maybe. We'll see.
yeah.
He's booking it. The big
Hmm.
dude, he was booking. That was kind of fun in some ways. Like I said, I wasn't too worried even then.
Yeah,
I wasn't worried
the
about the
the
game.
announcers were like, "This may have just changed the whole momentum of the game." Spoiler alert: it did not.
No, they're just making stuff up. They're just trying to make us interested in the game.
Hmm.
I saw through that. I knew.
You knew.
But no, Mahomes has got it. He's back. He looked good. The interception wasn't his fault. Like he didn't have any interception that was just a bad play. He played hard. He was making the right reads.
Yep.
Juju was getting open in zone, which is his thing. And Travis Kelce was cooking.
Yeah.
Xavier Worthy had a touchdown, did some stuff.
Hmm.
Like it's a good
Yeah.
crew.
It was a good game, and a game playing that well against division rivals should never be taken for granted. Um, so
Sure. Wait, division rivals?
yeah, because we played the Chargers.
We played the Saints last week.
That's right. Obviously, 2 weeks. Sorry. Yeah, it's been a long day. We did win against the Chargers, and that was not nearly as pretty of a game. But
Yeah.
we beat the Saints, and Derek Carr probably is tired of losing to the Chiefs. Um,
Yeah. Yeah,
but
he didn't get to come and beat him up. I wonder if Derek Carr really hates the Chiefs. He seems like a pretty chill dude.
yeah, honestly, he probably hates the Raiders more than he hates the Chiefs.
He probably should. The
Yeah,
Raiders dumped him, and then they have not. Like why
yeah,
would you give Jimmy G the same? Like he's the same guy. He's worse. He didn't know your system, and then now they're playing like Aiden O'Connell or Gardner Minshew. Like
yeah.
I think the Raiders wish they had Derek Carr. Now he's had some injuries, but that's not
Hmm.
like what can you do about that? It's like
Honestly,
I I
with the
mean I guess maybe
Raiders,
he was never going to bring him over the top, but
the
he's way
Raiders
better.
should have done what the Lions and the Rams did, and they should have just traded Derek Carr for Baker Mayfield straight up with the Browns.
Oh
They should have done that, and both teams would probably
yeah,
be happier for it.
Yeah.
But
But did that happen the same year the Browns gave Deshaun Watson all the money?
no, it didn't. I don't think.
No. Deshaun Watson, the Browns, I mean, they messed up. Broncos kind of also messed up, but Bo Nix looks okay, I guess. I don't know. They're still hurting. No offense,
Yeah.
Russell Wilson, but
Oh,
it's like when you see a contract or a deal like that, and you just immediately know, oh, buddy, you just put in
yeah.
all your chips.
Yeah.
There's a lot of assumptions there, like, oh, our defense is so good, it did this,
It's crazy how much money they're paying Russell Wilson to be on a different team this year.
Yeah, I mean, he's
So,
not even playing.
yeah.
He got some hamstring thing, maybe, or maybe they bench Justin Fields for him.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with that. Um,
The Steelers I think the Steelers are paying their entire QB room less than the Broncos are paying Russell Wilson.
well, of course,
So
yeah, like
it's
it's
kind of
not
just
even
funny when you think
close.
about it.
Not even close. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Mm.
I wonder
And
what,
we'll have
like,
more
what percentage of
conversations
their
like
cap?
that next week, I'm sure, because we won't have a
Yeah,
Chiefs game to talk about.
we'll have a Chiefs game. So, yeah, I think those are my main takeaways. Chiefs offense is looking good. Our run defense is a big deal, and
Yeah.
in the NFL first pass first. I really think being able to stop the run consistently is a recipe for good success.
Yes.
And
And
we haven't always had that,
mhm,
and we've had decent defenses, but that, like, you have to have like L'Jarius Sneed lockdown corner stuff in order, like,
yeah.
it's way harder to hold, if you have no pass rush, if you don't really have a good front for the running game, it's really hard to hold good receivers for a long time.
Yes.
There's a ticking clock.
And the
And
thing
so,
is, if you're good at stopping the run, you can be more aggressive on the pass rush. And what we
correct. Yeah.
learned last year is, on that like final drive the 49ers had, there was a receiver wide open. But it doesn't
Yeah.
matter if you're wide open if Chris Jones gets to you in, zero point 0.5 seconds. Um,
Right, right.
so
It's really hard to see that person and make the throw in that context. And yeah, like the better your pass rush is, then you have way more third and long opportunities, and that's when, man,
and honestly, the big plays
Spagnola
were
just shines in those
yeah.
situations.
And a lot of the big plays we're giving up are player trips or there's just like miscommunication in coverage, which things that will improve as the season goes on.
Right.
So
Our defense usually gets better as we're going, and we're playing great.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
like the playoffs, if we're playing, if we improve to the level that we've improved in these other weeks, man, watch out, guys. Like, I don't,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm not worried about Derrick Henry allowing us. The Ravens have looked really good. I'm not really worried about, the Bengals. Um, I mean, I don't even know if they get to the playoffs at this point, man. Their defense is so bad.
Yeah.
They're going to lose at least a few more. And then at that point, you're looking at 8 or 9 wins, and you're not guaranteed to get there.
Yep.
So, um,
Yep.
yeah, again, we'll talk about these more. So I like where the Chiefs are at. Obviously, you love undefeated going into the bye.
Hmm.
This is what you wanted. You faced some quality opponents, or at least that seem to be quality opponents,
Yeah.
ranked to be. So, and we came out with another win, and
Hmm.
finally, it felt a little comfortable. So,
Yep.
um, here's to games that you don't have to stress about.
Yep. Here's the games you can take naps to.
Hey,
So
yeah, I don't
unless,
know.
what if there's somebody who's a Chiefs fan that being stressed actually makes them nap and they like couldn't watch a whole game last season? They just always were asleep. Except for the
Yeah,
Dolphins
it's
game.
just,
That wasn't very stressful.
nah,
Yeah.
not very stressful. But
All
anyway,
right.
yeah, Uncool Crew. I'm glad you're with us. I'm glad you've joined the crew, and glad that maybe that where you belong.
Yeah.
Maybe we've had an enlightening moment.
Mhm.
Um, it's become, as we've talked about, less and less cool to be a Chiefs fan, but much more and more fun to be a Chiefs fan because we keep
True.
winning. So Patrick
And
Mahomes, keep keep flapping your little fingers for us. Keep throwing those passes. Don't worry about that interception. It was fluky.
mm-hmm.
You are back. The Chiefs are back. The offense is looking good, even without Rashee Rice. hope he recovers well and is able to figure out all the legal stuff and things like that.
Yeah.
But man, I'm feeling great, and I would say most of the other contenders have dropped some games they shouldn't have dropped, and so we control our destiny. We can get the first week bye, and then at
Hmm.
that point, man, we have to be the favorites, right?
Yeah.
We have to be. I don't
Hmm.
know. I don't know, man.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, go Chiefs.
Go
See you next week.
Chiefs. See ya.